if you don't manage time, as in waking up daily to doing all that your destiny requires, to put a push on your vision, from knowledge to healthy lifestyle and habits, healthy living, and good establishment, time will manage. It will, meaning that someday you're gonna wake up. Hi everyone, this is yourself first. Thank you for tuning in. We are talking today on limiting beliefs. Some of the major limiting beliefs that is holding us down in our 20s. I'm still my 20, okay? Yeah, some of the major limiting beliefs that is holding us in our 20 and it's doing us no good. We'll be talking on what they are and what they are ultimately doing to us. Some people are now in their 30s, some are leaving 20s before realizing that they are something they could have done better. Part they could have traded, friendship they could have prioritized, largely time and opportunities they wish they could have managed better. That's the stake of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are born from the mind, but they feed off something deeper, something I call conviction. It's where conviction eventually with time becomes a stronghold, whether consciously or unconsciously. As one advances in life, these beliefs are built from the things we constantly are exposed to on a daily basis, the things we see, the things we hear, and even the people we spend most of our time with. This then becomes a culture, a structure, and eventually the reality that can either propel or trap us. And in recent times, distraction is now more louder than ever. Culture is more influential. The digital world is now shaping values, shaping our timelines, our identity, and even our purpose. This is a true concern, because you can't afford to live on autopilot life. And your 20s are season of definition. So if you don't define what drives you, something else will. Whether pleasant or unpleasant now. So here are 10 limiting beliefs you must break from in your 20s if you want to own your life, walk in purpose, and build greatness. Number one of what I put here as a common limiting beliefs is I still have time. So I'm going to take it slow and steady. This one sounds safe, but it's a trap. I say this to say that in this age of soft life and zero pressure, many delayed purpose in an excuse for comfort, and that they are waiting for the right time. This particular disguise of your word is actually an illusion. Time is a very complete word. It doesn't wait for readiness. It's not waiting for you to fast track, slow track your life before you pick it up someday. It's why we make videos like this here to challenge you out of that space that's kind of keeping you at a disadvantage. Because in the long run, if you don't manage time, as in waking up daily to doing all that your destiny requires, to put a push on your vision, from knowledge to healthy lifestyle and habits, healthy living, and good establishment, time will manage. It will, meaning that someday you're gonna wake up and become a victim of what they call circumstances. Ecclesiastes 9:11 says, "Time and chance happened to them all." So whether the diligent you or the lazy her, you will have your cut from that investment. Scriptures also says that, "See not a man diligent in his work, he will set him before kings and not mere men." Meaning that by reason of what we've done with our life, there are some people that are gonna be before kings, but there are definitely others that are gonna be before mere men. Diligence doesn't wait for convenience. It takes initiative. So start now, build now, do your planning now. How's life, time only rewards the sower. Second of what I put here is I can make all the mistakes and still grow. Besides, I'm still young. I don't know how well to put this, but growth doesn't excuse carelessness. It's why we see grown-up people and can literally spot areas of their life where they missed it ultimately, either by discernment or even by normal intelligence, through their actions, their words, how they carry themselves in life, their fear, and even lack of confidence. Growing up, one thing I know mistake does is that it steals from you, and many more times people can't tell what a singular mistakes in their youth stole from them until they speak and exhaust some kind of energy that is fact-attracted. I say this to say that mistakes are very expensive. Some of them takes years to recover from, and maybe by God's mercy, especially in this age where things are moving on fast, like things changes quickly. Recovering time is so costly. It's so damn costly. Do not glamorize recklessness in your 20s. Instead, build healthy habits. Set mind-growing routines. Pray and fast more. Develop a monthly detox routines from some of the habits that doesn't serve. Practice stillness and self-discipline. Don't normalize dysfunction. Discipline is not punishment in any way. It's protection. A true biblical proof to this point will be Samson in the Bible. Samson, on account of all the mistakes he's made, lost his vision and purpose because of Delilah. Vashti, on the other hand, lost her throne because of that mistake and Esther replaced her. Peter denied Jesus and it took him several years before he could recover from that state of leadership. Paul came and even outran him. David made a mistake, prayed and fasted, but still lost his son. And also, Adam's singular mistake cost humanity and put us all in this drama. Jesus had to come to redeem that. Another limiting belief is the belief that my background disqualifies me. Whether it's family history, things that happened in the past, abuse that causes trauma, poverty, and whatever sin you've done in the past, it's hard to say that many in their 20s quietly carries this shame that later turns to self-sabotage. But here's the thing, your background may explain you, but it doesn't define you. Not in any way. Your background shouldn't be entirely where you draw the energy from whence you want to live your life now. Yes, it's not why God bless you. It's not even why people will love you. It's not why you are who you are today to a larger extent. Yeah, trust me. Moses was a murderer in the Bible, but that doesn't define him. Paul persecuted the Christian. Rahab was just a prostitute. Ruth was a Moabite. Esther was even just a commoner as far as King Ahasuerus was concerned. Yeah, your past shouldn't be powerful enough to cancel your purpose. Never allow it. What really matters to your growth is the energy with which you come out and respond to your call in destiny, the response you give life generally, yes. Because where you're going in life is more important than where you started. Let that sink in. Yeah. Another limiting belief is the belief that I can do it alone. I'm not a people person. This kind of sounds soft and a bit of energy, but it's unsafe. This belief somehow held me down growing up for a while. Yeah, because of how it sounds. Okay, it may sound soft and masculine, but it's not it. Independence is great, I know, but isolation is dangerous. Especially when it's anxiety, it's fear, and pride in disguise. Many of us we do these days. Because you might just be hiding under a space of that feeling of pride in disguise for self-energy, me strong, alone and powerful. In our 20s, the lie of self-sufficiency can sound noble, but it's unsafe. Let me explain this. When you are someone who doesn't have good community and healthy association, or you don't prioritize it, you may break in silence, because in the long run, the pieces that are supposed to be part of our repair as we go through life, of which is very inevitable, may just be rich and available among those community that you did not prioritize, those community that you neglected, the community of good, moral, believing people now. Yeah, there's a balance to this though. We're in a kind of society these days that is cancel culture, society that is very hint at their moral base, traditional base, cultural base. So we must do this with discernment, like good instincts, yes. But people can really be genuine, regardless. Just that you have to be genuine to spot one. In a larger extent, this is me trying to say that in breaking free from this, you have to work on your own personnel, your form and image, because naturally in life, you will attract your kind. Know this for it. And that's the reason why for me, Ecclesiastes 4:9 says that two are better than one. That if one falls, the other can pick him up. So whether we like it or not, destiny requires community. Jesus had disciples. Paul had Barnabas, he had Silas, he had Timothy. So in this age where people are chasing individuality and self-strength, remember that kingdom purpose is never built on isolation. Period. Number 5 of what I put here as limiting belief is that it's too late, I've already missed my window. So I asked my mom one time, what exactly do people mean when they say they miss their window? And she said, it's just a belief. So that's when I did my own research and I realized that this particular belief usually creeps in when people see others ahead of them. And it's common among those in their late 20s, those in their early 30s, 40s. Realistically, because of what has happened in your life and part of destiny, you might actually be tempted to feel down and backtracked in disguise for being sorry and repented. But that's not true. It's not even real for everyone. Yes, you might have to do some extra work. You might have to go extra miles, do some mind resetting assignments on yourself because of all those stuff that transpired in your days, from reformation to repair, mind resetting, good routines, and stacking healthy health habits. But it's just ideal responsibility. Fake it that way and don't let the enemy trap you from making progress in this space of your life. Comparison can ultimately turn your timeline into a trap if you don't work on this. God is not in any way limited by time. He actually exists out of it. For example, Joseph entered leadership at around 30. Jesus began his ministry at his 30s. Moses even began his own at 80 or so. So if you're still breathing, you still have purpose that is waiting for you to stand. You didn't miss your window. You didn't. You are just in the workshop. So do not confuse preparation with punishment. Number 6 of what I put here is I need to have it all figured out before I start. And this is somehow in line with the points we just spoke on. For most people, this belief actually becomes for them a real struggle after they are 20 because they wait on growth, responsibility, and development. These 3 basic pillars that brings about establishment, stability, and settlement in life. It's not an advantage, trust me. Some things in our life today, we discover it faster because we started early. Stuff like building financial structure early in life, your work, savings, investment, even things like educating and building your mind early on the aspect of relationship and marriage even before you meet a spouse. Generally learning to be stable always. You're going to be a leader someday, an executive in life. You're going to be a wife, a mother, a father, and husband. Someday you'll be a representative of some sort. So you cannot afford to be rattling your emotions around because you lack stability. Clarity doesn't come before movement. It comes with it in transition. Many in their 20s feel paralyzed because they do not have the full picture, so they wait and wait and wait. But God often reveals the blueprint of our destiny step by step, bit by bit, pieces by pieces, as we walk in obedience and submission. It's really going to be one little obedience after another unfolding, not at once, like you're waiting for it to be. My mentor will say delay obedience is also disobedience. So start early. Dedicate yourself to growth. Commit deeply to it. You own yourself that much. Yes. Some people had a rough 20 because people are funny these days. They will take advantage of your timid, shy, naive, and that laid back nature. So your low level exposure, I call it exposure frequency, will cost you. I'm not talking about what people do these days now. The real exposure to life, principles, morality, faith, and truth now. Yeah. And this is me saying, don't just come out tall. Come out strong, thick, and sharp. Because God is not going to bless the life that you imagined. He's going to bless the one that you are bold enough to start building. Last of what I put here as the limiting belief is that virtue is just a myth. Some of us were at a home space where people speak less of virtue and even act less of it. So we kind of internalize that concept and gradually grow into same culture. And I'm not gonna lie, the kind of society we are in today somehow mirror that image. Yes. So we're in a generation today that is saturated, that is oversaturated with hypersexuality, and sacredness and purity is now seen as outdated, non-trending, old-fashioned, irrelevant, and to some extent even shameful. Can you imagine? But I'll keep it simple. Purity is not about what you haven't done. It's about what you've preserved, or what you're currently preserving. It ultimately communicates some basic truth, some major truth to our subconscious mind, and it's actually what we live by. First, it communicates sacredness, how that you recognize your body generally now as an altar in love, in service, and in worship. It communicates contentment, communicates wholeness and completeness. It communicates stability, growing up like in a strong, grounded decision. Yeah, it also communicates to your subconscious mind trust and patience. I say this to say that purity is not a weakness. It's actually strength under control, and is the most secret to strong mental, vibrant people we see today. It's subconscious. Whatever you do with yourself, your body has a ripple effect on your mind. Okay, so subconsciously, it's what has made you live out the kind of life you're living now. I'm going to make a video here on why we act the way we do, and I really trust God to help me through with it. Yes. Limiting beliefs are often invisible until they become your limit. You don't want to look back at your 30 tomorrow and realize that you've spent your 20s living out life that you don't appreciate now, building delay and falsehood. Because many often than not, 60 to 70% of what we grow up believing was actually taught us, either consciously or unconsciously. Someone spoke it into you, modeled it for you, or just normalized it around you. So we picked it and leave it, and has become now what we are made of. But here's the truth. With all due respect, some of the things we thought we learned are just carefully packaged set of errors. That's why as an adult, especially in your 20s, you must commit yourself always to the process of learning, relearning, unlearning in this journey. And you do this through various agencies that God and the universe has placed around us. You do this through books, through mentorship, spiritual and mental coaches, parents, physical and spiritual parents, yes, fathers of faith. Generally, those who have walked through this path, this route with proven results and fruit of maturity. It's why no matter the number of degrees you've had in life, if you are without counsel, you will your maturity, your wisdom eventually will be questionable. Scripture speaking says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. In this generation, everyone wants a great life, but it's not accidental. A deliberate life is built on purpose, is built on vision, on clear goals, clear realistic goals now. Yeah. And once your life is anchored on these, limiting beliefs will lose its grip on you. It's real. You won't be tossed to and fro by trend and culture, every wind of doctrine, some viral people's intelligence, and any of this inner confusion. Your life will be built on strong conviction.
You're not too young to work on wisdom, and definitely not too old to change direction or start to work on clear visions. So start now. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for staying through. I really hope this video have blessed you, and I will see you next time in my video. For now, stay strong and mindful. This is Joseph. I'll do all that good stuff. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share if you have to share, okay, to someone. Put a comment down the section for us. Anything, your view, even suggestion for next video, I will be sure to pick it up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.